Here we go then. It's 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. We can count. It's 5 lights. And here in Bahrain for round 1 of Division 3, it's lights out and away we go. A bit of a squirrely start from legendary Danny D. It looks like Bad Otter is already getting alongside him. Vettel having a go at Lenbao into turn 1. And we've got 3 into 1. Is that going to go? If they all get through here, that's very good driving indeed. 3 wide on a lot of occasions there. Lenbao and Hicklin are side by side. Good start from Vettel up P3. We have a yellow flag at the back there. That is an Alfa Romeo of Colden. What's happened to Colden? Yep, facing the wrong way there. Yellow flag. That's going to be gone pretty soon. See their front 2 with the Ferrari there starting to gap a little bit. Lenbao, meanwhile, the mediums, has not had the start he wanted. He's going the wrong way. 5th place and under pressure from Punisher here. Further back, we've got Halo. Nice little move there on Lofties. He goes up the inside, sort of Fernando Alonso style. A little bit of a touch there at the back from the Alfa Romeo on the Red Bull. Apart from Colden, though, it looks like that was a pretty clean start. I didn't see what happened to Colden at the back, but he was certainly facing the opposite way. Further up because Lenbao looks to have got some momentum going now, and he's starting to get a rhythm finally. Like I said, not the start he would have wanted, starting on those medium tyres from P3's dropped to P5 at the start. Bad Otter still within a second of legendary Danny D. If he can try and hold on to that for the next couple of laps, he'll be in great stead, with obviously being on the harder tyres. Legendary Danny D does set the fastest lap of the race. And we can see there the Ferrari there looking for a move up the inside. Oh, sorry, it was Hicklin looking for the outside, wasn't it? Sorry. Not to get it done though, and Lenbao now looking for a move. Oh, and there's a Ferrari there almost going into Grosjean's wall, and he loses that position, and Vettel goes from P3 to P5, and the McLaren and the AlphaTauri say thank you very much. Can the Ferrari recover? Stays in P5 for now. The hard tyres of Vettel looking like a good race car, looking like a good race tyre as well. And we saw Halo as well there up into P8 before. He is, oh no, he's still ahead of Lofty. Gap at the front now up to 1.4 seconds and a big slide. Or was that just the camera angle? It looked like a slide. And he's lost a bit of time, so I think it was a bit of a slide there from Vettel. He is wringing the neck of that thing at the moment, and there is Lenbao making the move up the inside of McLaren. Can Hicklin hang this right around the outside? He's trying his best, but through goes Lenbao into P3, back to where he started. Hicklin is going to want to try and get that back as quickly as possible. Further back, we've got Punisher looking for a move here on Vettel, and Punisher is going to get that move. He moves up to P5 as he goes off the inside, but round the outside goes Vettel to try and hold on to that move. That's great driving there. In fact, if anything, that's now allowed Tyler Jenkins to get a move on his teammate. You see further behind the McLaren of Halo trying to make a move on Punisher. Little bit of contact, but everything is fine there as the Haas looks to get the move done as well. Lofty there through on Halo, and it's all changing. We've also got the Ferraris doing battle here. Oh, it's Baggy Fan. So Baggy Fan has got the move done on Vettel. For Vettel going backwards here. Something happened to Vettel, I think. Has he got damage? Oh, and contact, and he's into the wall. If he didn't have damage before, he's certainly got damage now. And Vettel from the high positions of P3 at one point is now going to have to pit for a new front wing. We have a VSC. Quick recap then. So legendary Danny D has been caught actually by Bad Otter under that VSC. Less than a second is the gap. Oh, she's gone back over a second now actually. I can't imagine anybody pitting now, even if the VSC stays out, because there's way too many laps left. All you'd really be doing is committing to a 2-stop, surely. This battle here from P5 all the way down to P9. VSC still out. Is anybody opting to pit? Doesn't look like it. Like I said, it's a bit too early. We're only about to start lap 4. Oh no, lap 3 we're on, sorry. Still, the VSC stays out. The VSC not wanting to go in just yet. The Marshall's taking their time to move that that front wing, and there we go. And Vettel has opted to pit. Oh, of course, because he's missing the front wing. He caused the VSC, didn't he? Right, so let's have a look. Who is close battle-wise? I think it's Punisher on his own teammate here, actually. So the Aston Martins. I wonder if there'll be any team orders here. Let's go on board with Punisher. Teammate just running a little bit deep there. Managed to carry the momentum. Lofty, meanwhile, is closing right up to the rear end of Punisher here. Just a third of a second behind. Of course, the battle for P5 goes all the way back to P9 at the moment, this train. DRS, of course, is enabled, so we'll see now if Lofty can make a move. He's thinking about it. He's not going to be close enough, though. And they stay in position for now. This is going to be a DRS train right through to the start-finish straight. Runs a little bit wide. So we've got gaps starting to form on the rest of the field at the moment, but this battle of, what is it, 5 cars, certainly, as I mentioned, the midfield looked like it was close in qualifying, and it's proving to be just as close in the race. And here goes Halo for a move up the inside. Gets the move done, but once again, just like we saw with the Ferrari, trying to hang it around the outside, but this time the McLaren has got it. DRS is going to be wide open, and they both do get a nice helping of DRS there. Meanwhile, the Aston Martins are going to swap positions here as Punisher goes ahead of Tyler Jenkins. Let's look at positions gained. There we go. So at the moment, as you can see, Vettel down 10. Halo, the biggest gain at the moment, up 4 places. Maxwell has lost 3 places, so not going Maxwell's at the moment. And Russell up 3 places as well. Top 3 after Lembau's disappointing start is As You Were. He's caught up a couple of tenths on Bad but he's not made too much of an indent in that gap at the moment. A bit further back then to Russell is still eyeing up Lofty. These guys just sort of running line astern. Let's go back to Stars Orphan at the moment. So he is within DRS range of Maxwell. Len at the moment taking another couple of tenths out of Bad Otter. He, of course, Bad Otter on those hard tyres. He's only 2 seconds behind legendary Danny D. So again, showing good race pace on those hard tyres. What can Stars Orphan do about Maxwell? Can he try and stay in that DRS of the Red Bull? It's Ferrari versus Red Bull in Bahrain, but not quite for the lead, unfortunately. Further up, you can see Lofty closing on the back of Halo. I will go to that in a second if that looks like a move that's going to be made. They're all very close to each other. In fact, here we go. It's Halo and Tyler Jenkins. Is Halo going to get the move done? Into turn 1. They're side by side. He gets it done before the braking zone. And Halo has split the Aston Martins. Can Tyler Jenkins come back at him? He's got a really good exit out of turn 3 there, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move as Halo hangs on in there in P6. Meanwhile, Stars Orphan is just a couple of tenths now behind the Red Bull. He's caught that up a bit. Vettel with the fastest lap of the race. He's gone on to the medium tyres after pitting for that new front wing. So showing that pace that he had before, he started to plummet towards the back of the field and then unfortunately ended up with that incident that put him into the wall. We've got Halo and Punisher swap positions here. In fact, he's got the move done, and Punisher is now battling with his own teammate. Tyler Jenkins loses out there. We've got Lofty, runs a little bit wide, trying to get the move done on the Aston Martins. The Aston Martin gets a little bit loose. I don't know if there's a bit of contact there or not. The Alfa Romeo is Lofty is looking interested now. Just a 0.3 of a second separating all 3 cars, and further up ahead, Punisher looking for a move on Halo. But here goes Punisher. We'll keep our eye on the background as well for the other battle. They've managed to stay in DRS. Punisher's going to get the move done on Halo. He moves himself back up to P5. Meanwhile, Lofty and Tyler Jenkins swap positions into turn 1. And contact! I think Russell and Lofty came together and round goes. It is Russell that's gone round, I think. And Lofty, I think it's Lofty and Russell, isn't it? They're both together. As Lofty gets that's a harsh 5-second penalty for corner cutting there. Meanwhile, the Alfa Romeo is no damage there. And no damage for Lofty. So contact there between Russell and Lofty. And the Alfa Romeo there of Lofty just letting his teammate go there, getting well out of the way. That is a shame for them too. Good race. They were right in there in that DRS train. But contact, as they were all driving really close together, has meant that their races are going to have to start again here on lap 7 from P10 and P12 they are now. Further up we have Halo. Still in that Aston Martin sandwich, but that that group of 5 has become a trio, and it's a, like I said, it's that McLaren, that papaya, stuck in the middle of an Aston Martin sandwich at the moment. Meanwhile, Lenbao closing in slowly but surely towards Bad Otter. We're getting to the point where the hard tyres will start to be the quicker tyre in a few laps. So Lenbao will want to try and get into DRS range as soon as possible. Further back, we've got Russell and Baggy Fan battling as Baggy Fan looks to get that move done, and he does. That puts Russell down into P11, and he's going to come into the pits actually. We've just seen some moves going on here. Yes, it is. He's having to fight with both Astons here. It's like fighting with one hand behind your back. He's going to have DRS, but so is the other Aston Martin. And they are going to go side by side. It's going to be Halo and Tyler Jenkins at 3 wide. He makes the move, a bit of contact with one of the Aston Martins. And it looks like Tyler Jenkins survives. Ooh, another little bit of contact. And that very nearly sent Tyler Jenkins spinning round like a disco ball. But he survives for another lap as Halo still stuck in the middle of an Aston Martin sandwich. The Aston Martin there of Punish getting very close to the rear end there, but having to back out, and he's lost a bit of time there. He's on board now with the McLaren man. Hard tyres for Halo. As I mentioned, we're getting to the point now where in a couple of laps these hard tyres are going to be quicker than the soft tyres. And meanwhile, Lofty and so the two Haas cars having a little bit of a battle there. As Lofty gets P10 away from Baggy Fan. Oh, we're going for McLaren versus Aston Martin round 2 here. Punisher's just dropped off the back a little bit, and he goes defensive, pushes him towards the wall, but through goes Halo, and that moves the second McLaren up into P5. They're 4th and 5th now for McLaren, looking like a good team result here. But can Tyler Jenkins come back at him? He's got a good run out of turn 3. He's head towards turn 4. DRS open, but he's out of ERS. Is he going to send it? He does go for a send into turn 4. The McLaren's going to try and hang it around the outside, but it's going to be Tyler Jenkins who comes out on top and regains P5 ahead of SSR Halo. Meanwhile, Maxwell has got the move done on Stars Orphan. He's back ahead of the Ferrari man. These two having a great little tussle here for P8 at the moment. Lofty hoping to try and close in on these guys. Can the Ferrari man do anything about it as he head towards that downhill section? Lovely little helicopter shot there. 3-second time penalty for SLR Russell there. Lofty has taken half a second out of these two on this lap so far, so he is trying to see if he can make some moves and get back up to the sort of the top 10 or well inside the top 10. Let's go back up to the McLaren versus Haas battle. We will look at some of the other battles soon, but it's just that the rest of them will become quite spread out. So these are the two main battles we're looking at, this battle for P5 and the battle for P8. Because Lenbao is now almost within a second of Bad Otter, but here comes Halo again. Can he get the move done on Tyler Jenkins? Tyler Jenkins is going to go defensive and try and force him, the McLaren, to the outside, but this time Halo opts to stay behind the Aston Martin, and see if he can get a run up towards turn 4. But Halo Jenkins seems to get a really good exit out of turn 3, and that stops Halo from really being able to have a run at the Aston Martin man. Meanwhile, go back on board with the second and third place men here. So Bad Otter 3.7 seconds back from legendary Danny D. Husky Saturn picks up a 3-second time penalty. Lenbao is really pushing hard here to see if he can get within that 1 second, get in DRS and start making a move on Bad Otter. Can't forget about Hicklin either, currently in P4. He's not been dropped by Lenbao. He's been about 2 seconds behind for the last 5 laps, or last 4 laps or so. So he's slowly gaining on Bad Otter as well. Halo, meanwhile, has just gone ahead of Tyler Jenkins down that that second DRS straight. So he's got that McLaren back ahead of the Aston Martin. Looks like Bad Otter has managed to fend off the AlphaTauri for another lap. Meanwhile, Taylor Jenkins is all over the rear end of Halo. Punisher has been dropped by these two. Can he get himself back into DRS? I think he's just about managed it. He has, back within a second. We'll see if he got the DRS when they go past the DRS detection zone. Yes, he has got it. So here comes Tyler Jenkins. He's 4/10 of a second behind. Will he go to the inside? Will he go to the outside? Will he wait for the run up to turn 4? Because he has been getting good exits out of turn 3. Yeah, not quite close enough on this occasion. Yeah, those medium tyres don't seem to have the same grip. The hard tyres to have any more. Stays 6/10 behind, and Punisher this time is closer to his teammate on this lap. Lenbauer's lost a few tenths to Bad Otter in that battle for P2. So two Aston Martins, can they work together to catch Halo? They're very close to falling out of DRS range here. In fact, they have fallen out of DRS range. So Punisher now will be looking to try and make a move on his teammate. We're probably only a couple of laps away from the pit stops here. Who's that down in 15th? Russell bossing him here. There we go. So have a look at Mr. Colden. So Colden did have an incident on the exit of turn 2, I think it was. I didn't see the incident, but he was facing the wrong way. So that explains why Colden is right at the back, unfortunately for him. Meanwhile, we'll go back up to Stars Orphan. So the P9 currently in the Ferrari. Two Aston Martins, if they're smart, will start working together now, because now that Halo has finally got rid of the Aston Martin pair, he's pulling away quite quickly and looking to see if he can gain any time on his teammate. So let's go on board with the Ferrari man. He is 6 cents a second back. Still has 50% of his ERS left, so he's biding his time here behind Maxwell. Maxwell has saved out of the ERS there. Looks like some good straight line speed on that Red Bull though, so he's not going to be the easiest to pass, but he has run deep there. If the Ferrari can get a good exit out of turn 2 and 3, then he could potentially look up towards turn 4, but I don't think he's close enough. I don't think he had the best exit either. So a quick recap now, lap 12. So legendary Danny D has a 4.5 second lead at the moment over his chasing rivals of Bad Otter, Lenbao and Hicklin. Bad Otter then currently, that gap's been teetering at 1.1 to 1.4 between Bad Otter and Lenbao, and he's managing to just about keep him as bay as we get to that crossover point where the hard tyres become the better tyre. Got to say, legendary Danny D has managed to keep his pace up very well indeed, and he's still slowly extending that lead. SLR Hicklin has sort of stayed that 2 seconds, around 2 seconds behind Lenbao for pretty much the last 6 laps or so. And then you've got Halo, who's about 6 seconds further back, finally clear of those two Aston Martins. Those are your top 5. Punisher is ahead of Tyler Jenkins now, and he's pulled ahead of his teammate by almost a second. I wonder if we'll see any of the Aston Martins pit this lap. No, we won't. So no pit stops yet. Are they waiting for a safety car? Are they waiting for a VSC? None of them want to be the first one to pull the trigger. I do expect we'll see the medium tyre runners in within the next lap or 2, I would imagine. Stars off. Oh, he had a little look there, didn't he? But he's going to wait for the run up to turn 4 again. He's half a second back from Maxwell. And again, not the best exit from turn 1 and 2, and that means he's not going to get the run he needs. towards turn 4. Lofty, meanwhile, he had the incident with SLR Russell. He's currently running in P10 on those 12-lap-old hard tyres. But he is gaining on the Maxwell Starzolfen battle. He was about 6-7 seconds behind at one point when he was recovering. He's now 3.8, 3.9 behind. Bagifan running a fairly lonely race in P11 on those 12-lap-old medium tyres. Got a yellow flag. That is... Who is that? It's SLR Russell, the other Alfa Romeo, on the same corner that his teammate lost on lap 1. And it is not going Russell's way today, as the Alfa Romeos are currently running 14th and 15th, and they will want to forget Bahrain pretty quickly, you imagine. So Husky Fan currently P12. SLR Vettel, who was running as high as P3 at one point, had a moment, started to drop down the field. I'm not sure if he'd overheated his tyres or whatnot, and then he had an incident, damaged his front wing, and unfortunately he has also been running a very lonely race. Lenbao is almost in DRS range now as they go to turn 1. The Mercedes running a little bit deep. Oh, what's happening here? Taylor. So Punisher is the first one to pit then. So that might trigger a few pit stops. Might get a bit of action now. Meanwhile, Hicklin's starting to drop off the back of Lenbao now. 2.6 seconds is the gap. I'll keep my eye on where Punisher comes out. He's looking to see if he can get the undercut on Halo. Halo, of course, on the hard tyres. So Lenbao teetering. He's 1,000th of a second off getting DRS. It's tantalisingly close, but not quite there. He's still not got DRS. He was 1,000th of a second behind at the DRS detection point. But he is in DRS range now, 0.7 of a second. If he can hold that as they head towards the final corner, then he should manage to see if he can make a move on Badotta and finally get that P2 he's been craving. At the moment, Badotta looks to be struggling on his hard tyres, and I thought it'd be going the other way around. Not quite with the pace he would have probably wanted in comparison to the medium runners. Punisher, meanwhile, came out in P11, 4.8 seconds behind Baggy Fan. Into the pits then comes Lenbao, so he is going to pull the undercut. We'll see what legendary Danny D opts to do on the next lap. We've also got Colden in the pit, so he is going to lap down now. So let's have a look where... Who else is going to come into the pits? So Tyler Jenkins is into the pits. So he's going to see where he comes out in comparison to his teammate. Will he clear Husky Saturn? That is the question. Yeah, all the hard tyre runners are staying out. Baggy Fan, is he going to stay out? He is coming into the pits as well. So that will release Punisher, who is was catching him a little bit already. So Punisher has cleared his teammate quite comfortably in the end there. Tyler Jenkins comes out in P10. So P9 and 10 then for the two Aston Martins. They are both looking to try and get ahead of this man, SSR Halo, who is currently running around on the hard tyres. Of course, when he pits, he'll be on the fresher, grippier, medium tyres. Baggy Fan into the pits. He's gone onto some fresh, hard tyres now as he heads towards turn 1. Currently in P13. We've got Vettel there making the move on Husky Saturn. Gets himself up into P11 now, the Ferrari man. See if Husky Saturn can respond. Oop, legendary Danny D is in the pit, so let's have a look at Lenbao. Where is Lenbao? I mean, with the gap Danny D had, he should come out fairly comfortably in front of Lenbao, but it will be a little bit closer than it was. He'll want to clear this this gaggle of cars, and he should clear them. Into the pits comes the Ferrari. Stars off, and Lenbao coming down now as a yellow flag. What's the yellow flag for? Can't tell. So then Lenbao is... How far is he going to be behind him? About 3 seconds. So he has gained quite a bit of time there on legendary Danny D. Punisher goes ahead of Stars Orphan, who's coming out of the pits now. He'll come out in P10. He's looking to undercut Maxwell. Really important for legendary Danny D that he got ahead of Maxwell there, because he's got 2 cars between himself and Lenbao. And Lenbao now, who's wanting to try and get the undercut on Bad Otter, now finds himself stuck in a oh, and contact! No, and that is going to be a safety car, surely. It is a safety car. Bad Otter may have just hit the absolute jackpot here. He's going to be on the quicker tyre. Where is Bad Otter on the track? Let's have a quick look. Bad Otter is... Yes, Bad Otter is going to pit on this lap for some medium tyres. So is SLR Hicklin, as is SSR Halo. These 3 have hit the jackpot. They've got the perfect time. Where is Danny D? Danny D coming around, just finishing Sector 2. Into the pits is going to come Bad Otter. Has Bad Otter just potentially stolen a potential victory here? Because he's going to be on the better tyre. Drama in Bahrain. Pain in Bahrain for Danny D, as the top 2 are in the pits. Let's see where Danny D comes. Is he going to pit or is he going to stay out? He opts to stay out. Where is Bad Otter? Bad Otter is coming out of the pits now. This is going to be close. They're going to be side by side as they come out of the pits. Here comes Bad Otter. Danny D. Danny D into turn 1. And it is going to be Danny D just about ahead of Bad Otter. He had almost a 5-second lead over Bad Otter, and he was doing the faster lap, so he would have had a bigger lead. And that safety car has just completely negated that and given the Bad Otter the faster, grippier tyre. Hickling comes out in P3. Lenbao has opted to pit again for fresh mediums, so he's given up track position and opted to go for the faster tyre. So let's see if that pays dividends come the end of the race. He's shown he's not afraid to make a move back. He obviously struggled with what potentially was tyre warmth at the start, but he's going to have to make some moves now and get him back to the field down in P7. Punisher and Tyler Jenkins P8 and P9. So Star Sulfin tried to do the undercut on Maxwell. It didn't work because of the safety car. Maxwell then in P5. So those 2 have really gained through that in P5 and P6. And of course, they were battling over P8 earlier. Lofty, of course, the man who had that crash, sort of lost it in front of Lenbao. Could have taken Lenbao with him, but went careering into the wall. And Lofty, the Haas man, is out of this race. What this does do, of course, is gives everyone a chance to close back up. We'll have some more action. So let's have a run through the field. Let's get some different details up. Let's have a look at position changes. So top 2 were as they were, but that doesn't tell the whole story because Bad Otter is now on the grippier medium tyres. Hickling up 2 places. Halo really benefiting from that safety car. He's had good pace anyway. Got stuck with the Aston Martin battles, but showed good pace to get away from when he got through. He's up 7 positions in this race and finds himself on the medium tyre, whereas his teammate... let's look at the tyres. He's on the hard tyre. So Halo, after being the second McLaren for the whole race, is probably now on the better strategy than Hicklin. Max up 2 places. Stars Orphan up 7 places. He started in P13. He's also up 7 places. Could have been 8 places without the safety car. Lenbao down 4. He's had a bit of up and down race. Bad start. Managed to get himself back to P3 and then pitted before the safety car. And then opted to pit again under the safety car for some fresh mediums. Punisher and Tyler Jenkins, they've been pretty much inseparable all race. The 2 Aston Martins, they're running P8 and P9 now. Of course, those 2 were ahead of Stars Orphan and Maxwell. So they have lost out under this safety car. Husky Saturn up 5 places. He's up into P10. Let's have a look at the tyre situation for them. So Husky Saturn on 2 lap-old mediums. Baggy Fan on 1 lap-old mediums. Like I said, they're up a couple of places. Well, Husky up 5 places. He started from last. SLR Russell, he's currently running in P12, and Vettel in P13. Then our only man a lap down at the moment is Colden. What's a shame in this game is they don't have that sort of rule where lapped cars may now overtake. Because Colden at the moment, he's going to have to, once it's time to go, he's just going to have to get out of everybody's way. Whereas it'd be nice if there was a rule, if the game could say lapped cars may overtake, and then Colden could just get himself back on the lead lap again and get himself in contention. What's happening up here? Lenbao and Stars Orphan swapping places. I think they've reverted back to where they were, which is good. Vettel has gone for fresh softs. That is a bold strategy, given that the soft tyres do not last particularly long, and he's going to have to do quite a good number of laps on them still. When they cross the line, there'll be 11 laps to go. 11 laps on the... And SLR Russell has picked up a 3-second time penalty under the safety car there, while trying to catch up the pack. Okay, so they have all now caught up. Safety car. It's a late call for the safety car. It's a very late call. Where did they go? Let's go on board with Bad Otter. He's gone now. Down the field. I don't think anyone else is really close enough to make a move. Got a yellow flag there at the back. That is Colton getting out of the way of everybody. We've got SLR Russell there making a move on Baggy Fan. There's a Ferrari there looking quite interested as well for a move. Goes up the inside of the Haas. A little bit of wheel banging, but not too bad there. Can he get those soft tyres working and make the move on Baggy Fan? Yes, he can. And Vettel gets himself up into P11. He will have the grip advantage early on here. And that is P11 for the Ferrari. Lenbaum, meanwhile, looking for a move on Stars Orphan. He's in P7. He's not been able to make a move through the first couple of corners. Meanwhile, Bad Otter is going to be pressurising Danny D. He needs to get the move done early because, of course, at the end of the race, the hard tyres will be slightly better than the mediums. So Lenbaum trying to get this move done. Stars Orphan doing well so far. Maxwell and Stars Orphan both with great races so far. We've got a yellow flag at the back. Something has happened to Husky Saturn. He's round. Has he been tagged there or did he lose it? He's down to P13 and well off the back of the field. Meanwhile, Russell and Baggy Fan are very close together indeed. But let's go back up to Lenbaum. Lenbaum trying to make the move. Hicklin has managed to hang on to the front two as well. Halo hanging on just as well. 9/10 of a second gap. Husky Saturn has lost it again. I think he's overheated his tyres there. In fact, let's go up to the front because Bad Otter looking for a move for the lead here. He is just 2/10 of a second behind. He's opting not to use ERS, so he's not going to go for the move on this particular lap. But Lenbaum is going for the move and gets the move done on Stars Orphan. The AlphaTauri man is up into P6, and he can now go after the Red Bull of Maxwell. Bad Otter once again putting pressure at the front, but there's going to be no move on this particular lap. Vettel is in the pits. What's happened to Vettel? It's a front wing change. So Vettel's race has gone from bad to worse there. It is not going to plan for the Ferrari man. Another set of fresh soft tyres for Vettel. Meanwhile, up at the front we have 4 cars very close. Oh, Punisher. Punisher looks to have made a move on Stars Orphan. He's got the move done, actually. And Russell on Baggy Fan. Here they go, side by side. Who's going to be bravest? It's got to be Russell. Russell gets the move stuck. And the yellow flag there, that is Husky Saturn going slowly around turn 4. So all action here now. Stars Orphan is passed by the Aston Martin as well. There's action everywhere all of a sudden. Baggy Fan right on the rear end of Russell. Can he get the move to back? He's going to go for the inside. Is he going to pull off the old switcheroo here? Not quite on this occasion. Further up, let's go to the front because Bad Otter, the strategy, the gods, everything has aligned for him here. It was going Danny D's way, but here comes Bad Otter. Is he going to get the move done? Still no DRS at the moment. Lenbaum sets the fastest lap of the race. He's looking for a move. We'll go back to Lenbaum because he's got the move done on Maxwell. No fighting there from the Red Bull. But Lenbaum has burned all his ERS off already in doing this. Baggy Fan has got the move done on Russell. So Lenbaum up to P5. And Baggy Fan ahead of Russell again as he goes defensive there, Lenbaum. Looks like the Red Bull trying to come back on him here. He's going to try and hang it all the way around the outside. He is going to do it. Lovely move from Maxwell. They're still side by side. Is the AlphaTauri man going to hang? No! And through goes the Red Bull. Great battling from Maxwell and Lenbaum. Maxwell desperate to hang on. That top 5 ahead of Lenbaum, who was destined for a top 3 finish with the pace he was showing, but opted for the second pit stop under the safety car to have some medium tyres, and at the moment he's stuck behind the Red Bull. JPB Gaming, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're enjoying the Division 3 action. Certainly Russell and Baggy Fan having a right old ding-dong here. DRS open. for Russell. Is there going to be a move here at the end of the DRS straight? He's not going to be close enough. He's going to follow him round on this point. We will go back to the battle for the lead in a second. Bad Otter biding his time. He'll have DRS on this lap. Could we see the change of the lead between legendary Danny D and Bad Otter? Let's go to the front now. We'll go on board with the Mercedes man. DRS wide open. Legendary Danny D has used most of his ERS. Through goes Bad Otter and he takes the lead. Danny D's going to try and hang it round the outside here, but he gets just squeezed out of room a little bit. He's going to have DRS to come back at him here. Can legendary Danny D get the lead back of this race? Or is Bad Otter got enough pace now on these medium tyres to try and break away? The McLaren's looking interested in the background as well. Further back, Maxwell has been passed. Oh, a little bit of a moment there. He's going to try and hang it around the outside again. Can he carry the speed? There's an Aston Martin through as well. They're too wide. Surely not at this point. The Red Bull is going to try and hang it, but no, this time Len Bao hangs on to P5 and the Red Bull has to settle back in P6. Punisher now is going to try and push his way through. Can he get moved done? Oh, Maxwell, it's a good exit there. He's going to try for the outside, down the hill to the hairpin. Is he going to do the old Fernando Alonso switcheroo? I thought he was. He's in the right car to do it. But has to hang on for one more lap. Legendary Danny D, meanwhile, has managed to hang on to Bad Otter. The front four, all within DRS. We have a four-way battle for the lead, and through goes Punisher on Maxwell. And this time, Maxwell's stout defence of P5, or P6 this time, is given up at the end of the DRS straight with a yellow flag. That is Husky Saturn. He is... Oh, I've done that before. I know what he's done. I have done that myself. So Maxwell then seeing if he can come back unpunished. We have a safety car. Vettel's gone. Vettel has gone. And Husky Saturn has gone again as well. We have a safety car. Now, I wonder what... So Hicklin is pitting. Halo, I think that this happened in Division 2 last night with about the same number of laps to go. And a lot of people pitted for soft tyres. And it looks like quite a few people are opting to pit. Maxwell has stayed out, so he's gone for track position. He's been a tough competitor to get past. Tyler Jenkins stays out, Baggy Fan stays out, but Hicklin, Halo, Len Bao goes for another pit stop under the safety car. Punisher, Stars Orphan, and Russell have all pitted for fresh softs. Now, where is Holden on the track? So unfortunately, he's still going to be that lap down. Is Holden? That's a shame. For him. Len Bao's left the session. Please be on Xbox, Len Bao, so I can invite you back. Oh, where are you, Len Bao? View gamer card. Invite to game. We do not want to lose Len Bao from this race because he is going to have the bit between his teeth in P10, trying to make his way back through. What happened to Lofty? So Lofty, I don't know what the corner number is, but let's have a quick look where they are on the track. So here, right there, lost the rear end. Pretty much where the Ferrari is now. Here, right in front of Len Bao, and went straight into the wall on the right-hand side. And he caused the previous safety car. Whereas Vettel, who I didn't see his crash, but he has caused the second safety car. Hicklin should be winning this. Let's have a look at Hicklin. Yes, so Hicklin may have pulled an absolute blinder here. Because, like I said, the soft tyres, when they're fresh around here, are worth a huge chunk of time over used mediums, especially hard. So legendary Danny D, who I don't think he got chance to pit, did the top guys. Didn't get a chance to pit. He's probably now, who has been dominating this race before the last safety car, he's probably now in the worst position. The game has not fallen in legendary Danny D's favour here tonight. He's shown the pace, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. Sorry, that was a good old Jim Carrey line, that, from Bruce Almighty. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, the cookie has not crumbled, or it has crumbled, should I say, for Danny D. But it's not over yet, of course. He's shown great pace, but he's going to have to show some pointy elbows when these soft runners start charging their way through, because there's still 5.5 laps to go. There's going to be 5 laps to go when they cross the finish line. I think, looking at where Husky is... Oh, what's happened to Len Bao? What the hell is going on here? I can't view Lenbao. That is a real shame. Lenbao's car has stopped at turn 4 and blocked SSR Halo, meaning the SR Halo has dropped right back. That's a real shame for Halo. Husky Saturn still hasn't caught up to the back. I'm really confused because... So Halo's at the back. Husky Saturn is showing... okay, because he's a lap down. I'm not confused anymore. My brain hurt. What's happened here? So, Lenbao left the game. We've invited him back. And then his car is stuck at turn 4. But I can't go on to... Like, I can go on TV Pod, but it doesn't let me view him. His car is literally stopped on the exit of turn 4, and it's ghosted, which makes... I'm wondering if this safety car is ever going to come in. Has Bad Otter just won this race? It's a very odd one, but unfortunately Lenbao's car stopped, and it's ruined Halo, because Halo was stuck almost inside Lenbao's car, and he's dropped to P10 now. Right, so we're coming up to his car now. Let's go on board with Bad Otter. And let's see if we can see Lenbao's car. Yeah, so there's Lenbao's car, just stopped. Not moving. Won't be able to do anything. Ah, okay. So what's happening between... Oh, it seems Russell and Starship there, having a little bit of a scrap. Meanwhile, they're still having a fight. It's a safety car, guys! So hopefully the safety car is going to come in. But then are we going to have that problem where you're not going to be allowed to overtake at turn 4 because of the yellow flag situation? Husky still hasn't caught back up. I wonder if he's got a delta because of Lenbao's car, in which is why he can't catch back up. Oh no, he's at full pelt still. Okay, he hasn't got a delta then. So they're going up sector 2 now. So hopefully we'll get the safety car in message. If not, then I don't know what we do. Safety car in this lap. Okay, so I guess they're just going to have to be really careful at turn 4 because that car is not moved, and they may get the situation where every time they get to it, that sector is... I mean, it's not yellow now, but when the safety car comes in, it may go yellow around that sector because his car is not moving. Shame for Husky because he's not been able to catch back up, but it's going to be really interesting. I'm going to go on board with Hicklin for this restart because he is on the freshest tyres. There's going to be 4 laps to go, which means we will get some DRS racing at the end. When is Bad Otter going to go? He's got the better tyres than Legendary Otter, but this man we're on board with now has the best set of tyres, and they've gone. And the McLaren has been caught napping a little bit. If anything, he's going to be under pressure. Let's go forward with Maxwell, because Maxwell is challenging for P2. Can the Red Bull man make the move? No, not quite. He's backed out. In fact, if anything, the Aston Martin look for a move on him. And Legendary Dynasty hangs on for now. But and Hicklin's already got himself up to P5, actually. So he's made the move. Let's go further back, because Baggy Fan under a lot of pressure. They're all queuing up. The soft tyre runners making moves. The McLaren of Halo looking for a move on Stars Orphan. And you can see that car's going to be so off-putting. There's no yellow flag, thankfully, so they can race. You've just got to be careful driving through it. They don't think it's another car and suddenly slam on in front of somebody. Stars Orphan, meanwhile, battling with Baggy Fan. Baggy Fan has had a moment there. He's going to go backwards down to P11. Let's go up to Punisher, who's made the move on Maxwell. And Maxwell on those worn mediums. Is the Alfa Romeo going to go right round the outside here? Well, that would be a nice move. Just runs out of room, but the Alfa Romeo SLR Russell, who, if you remember, at one point was dead last almost. He's had a spin as well, and he's now fighting up in P6 with a potential chance of a podium here tonight. This race has been completely turned on its head. Bad Otter is trying to make a break for it. Hicklin now is right on the rear end of Tyler Jenkins, who was another of the ones that decided to stay out. And Hicklin is looking really good here for a win. Oh, okay, so the game will ignore him. Okay. Well, hopefully we don't want to see a pile-up. So unless someone has paused, then the AI will react to it causing a pile-up. Oh my God. Nobody press pause at turn 4. That is not something I want to see. Halo, meanwhile, looking for the move on Russell. So the McLaren man gets that move done. And down the inside comes Maxwell back on Russell. And there's contact. Russell goes round. So Maxwell, I think, caught the rear end of Russell. The Red Bull tags him. And Russell, who was looking finally for some good luck in this race, drops all the way down to P11. Meanwhile, Hicklin is side by side with Punisher. Sorry, with Tyler Jenkins. Once again, we have a McLaren in an Aston Martin sandwich, but this time it's Hicklin having to deal with both Aston Martins. Is he going to look a move at the hairpin? He is going to look for a move, a bit of contact, and then the Aston Martin catches him for good measure, and Hicklin tried to make the move, and unfortunately, he has been left losing positions, which means Halo is now the lead soft runner. It's all going on here. We've got an Alfa Romeo around there just before the hairpin. That will be SLR Russell, I think. No, sorry, that's Colden, actually. Might have been getting out of the way of people. So the soft runners there sort of tripping over themselves, meaning that's given Bad Otter, Danny D and Tyler Jenkins a chance to survive another lap. Can Hicklin come back? So it was really unfortunate for Hicklin because he just tagged the back of the Aston Martin just a little bit. And then the other Aston Martin tagged his rear, which sort of forced him round a bit more, causing him to lose those positions. So here we go, legendary Danny D. Can he regain the lead of this race against all odds? The hard tyres will be the better tyre now. Halo, meanwhile, has got the move done on Tyler Jenkins. Halo, can Halo go for the win of this race? Meanwhile, Danny D looking for a move on Bad Otter. He's got DRS now. Bad Otter's going to have to go defensive. He goes to the inside. He's got to force Danny D the long way around at turn 4. No way room there, but the Mercedes runs wide, and through goes Danny D. A sideways moment for Bad Otter. And that is all she wrote. Danny D back in the lead of this race. What can Halo and Punisher do? The other soft tyre runners that are challenging. Punisher looking for a move on his teammate. Surely there's some team orders there going on. He's on the better tyres. Is Tyler Jenkins going to let his teammate go for a podium here, or he's going to try and hang on to P4 himself? Halo needs to get the move done on Bad Otter ASAP if he's got any chance in hell of catching Danny D for what would be an incredible victory here in Bahrain. Hicklin still unable to find a way through Punisher. Punisher unable to get past his own teammate, but he runs wide. The Aston Martin, is he going to get the move done? His teammate cuts him off. There's no team orders here at Aston Martin, and Hicklin trying desperately to find his way through the Aston Martins. They have been a pain in the proverbial papaya backside for Hicklin and Halo tonight. And the Aston Martins working together to create a green wall of death. But Hicklin's going to go for them both up the inside. And he's got one of them. Can he get the second one? Yes, he can. And Hicklin up to P4. Halo, meanwhile, is going to try and see if he can get a move done on Bad Otter as he weaves there with the DRS. But a yellow flag further back. That is what has happened. Oh, and we have some damage there. And looks like I went off that at the wrong time. I know that Hicklin and the two Aston Martins were very close to each other, but Jenkins has damage right at the end of this race here. No front wing on the final lap. But with it being the final lap, is Starship? No, he's not close enough. Let's go up to the front. Can Halo and Bad Otter do anything about Danny D on the final lap of this race? Punisher, meanwhile, is looking for a move on the Aston Martin. That should be pretty straightforward. They're both missing front wings there, actually. Both Aston Martins, so something has happened there. Both Aston Martins, have they come together with themselves? Have they come together with Hicklin? Stewards may be busy with that one. Meanwhile, Halo looks to have run out of gas at the end. The soft tyre runners sort of tripped over themselves, which have allowed legendary Danny D and Bad Otter to hang on to their top 2 places. But it's going to be, unless something drastic happens, legendary Danny D who's going to have held on and survived despite the odds being against him, and to win the opening race here in Bahrain. Of course, we have a few corners to go. We don't want to jinx it. Baggy Fan is moving up. Stars Orphan is moving up as well. The Aston Martins are dropping like a stone here with that damage. And the soft tyre runners look like they've run out of grip as Halo drops back. But it's still going to be a podium for Halo. His teammate is gaining on him as well. But Bad Otter is going to come P2, but your winner is going to be legendary Danny D, Bad Otter in P2. The McLarens with a great team result in 3 and 4, but it could have been so much better. Maxwell with a great drive in P5. Punisher comes home in P6, missing a front wing. Baggy Fan is going to come home in P7. A lovely little weave there of excitement ahead of Stars Orphan 6, who loses out to Tyler Jenkins on penalty countback. Husky Saturn's going to come home in P10. The luckless SLR Russell, who was looking strong himself at one point, is going to come home in P11. We've got Colden in P12. What could have been for Lenbao? He did pit for the fresh softs. He's not afraid of a move. But of course, the game has completely screwed him out of that one. SSI Halo gets drive of the day. And you know what? I might have to agree with that. It's got to be between Halo and Danny D. Danny D, I would have put my house on him not winning that after the second safe score, with him being on hard tyres, a bunch of soft tyre runners behind him. But he has hung on to a victory here, and if anything, regain the win ahead of Bad Otter, who looked like he had it in the bag at one point. As always on this game, it's never over till it's over, and even with a few laps to go, we still didn't know who was going to be your race winner. So we'll do a quick recap of the results then. So legendary Danny D is your winner ahead of Bad Otter. Halo going in P3. Those are your podium sitters. Halo also getting fastest lap of the race. So a really solid result for McLaren. Red Bull's Maxwell hung it out on those medium tyres. Gets a top 5 finish ahead of Punisher in the Aston Martin, who finishes the race minus a front wing. Baggy Fan finishes in P7 ahead of the other Aston Martin, who also finished the race minus a front wing. And then you had Stars Orphan in P9 ahead of Husky Saturn. SLR Russell and Colden. Lenbao is being counted as DNF'd. I don't know what happens with the rules on that. I mean, it's a real tough one for Lenbao. He was running well, and the game has screwed him out of it. Vettel DNF'd and Lofty DNF'd. Those are the two that caused the safety car. We will have a quick chat to some of them if they fancy having a chat. So we've got Danny D, Bad Otter and Halo, who are going to join the party, hopefully. We'll have a quick chat about how their races went. Cheers, Maxwell. Appreciate that. Double move vehicle. Yes, we saw it. We saw the double attack. Didn't see what happened with the two Aston Martins down the straight because I went on to somebody else. Yeah, unlucky. Could have been any one of the soft tyre drivers that came away with the victory. Doesn't look like anybody wants to come